It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion. This is for Saturday, the 9th of August. I'm Michael Groff. It's hot out there again today with the added fun bonus of higher humidity. Yeah, as expected, those dew points did come up overnight. And so as a result, it's kind of steamy out there today. Does that mean we have chances of showers and thunderstorms? Well, we'll get into that. Speaking of the monsoon, there are signs of hope out there on the horizon. Better chances of showers and storms coming in over parts of the state during this upcoming week, but will we see anything in the valley? That's the question you want to know. We'll try to figure that out. Plus temperatures. It's been brutally hot for the last couple of weeks. Do we see signs of relief? We'll talk about that and so much more as we dive on in. Hey everyone, it's Michael Groff here to talk to you about your roof. With all the extreme weather we have in Arizona, you need a name you can trust, and that's why you should call Blackstone Roofing Group for all of your roofing needs. Call for your free inspection today. Big or small, they do it all. Tile, shingle, or flat roofing, they can help. Offering free inspections and more. Roofing made easy. Call 602-536-9363 or visit blackstoneroofing.com to schedule your free inspection today. And if you tell them Michael Groff sent you, they'll take $500 off the price of your roof replacement. Again, that's 602-536-9363 or blackstoneroofing.com. All right, let's get to that almanac from yesterday. And after a record-breaking 118 degrees on Thursday, hey, not so bad yesterday. Almost an Arctic chill at just 114 degrees at Sky Harbor after that morning low of 92. And hey, the average high down to 105. Hey, signs that fall are in the air, right? Well, not quite. That average low is sitting at 84. No rain in the bucket, of course. We're way behind on precipitation. No sign that that's going to change anytime soon. As we look outside after 11:20 a.m., we've got sunny sky out there. And yeah, it's 100 degrees at Sky Harbor. Dew points up at 59. Although those dew points were up in the mid-60s earlier this morning. Relative humidity, 26%. Wind from the west-northwest at 10. With gusts to 16 miles per hour. A bit breezy out there. And the barometer is falling. Satellite picture out here across the southwest. You can see what's been going on. And yeah, we did have a bit of a moisture surge overnight. At least at the surface, the lower few thousand feet of the atmosphere, especially across southeast California, southwest and south central Arizona. We saw those dew points well up in the 70s in the Imperial Valley and the lower Colorado River Valley. They got up into the mid-60s here. So yes, it does feel a bit different out there today, more like a traditional monsoon day. But despite that moisture around, unfortunately, with high pressure sitting off to the north and west of us, and without much of an obvious trigger mechanism in the atmosphere and with relatively stable air in the mid-levels, I just don't think we're going to see much in terms of storm activity across most of the state today. The watch warning map, as we sort of anticipated, the National Weather Service has extended the extreme heat warning here in the valley. That's now through 8 p.m. on Tuesday. Also extreme heat over the Pacific Northwest and the nation's midsection, and we could certainly see some heavy rain there and some strong storms later today as well. Convective outlook, that standard slight risk of severe storms, level 2 out of 5. Des Moines, Iowa, Madison, Wisconsin. Certainly some of the adjacent areas, the broader risk across much of the central and northern plain states for some strong and severe storms with a rather potent short wave moving across southern Canada today. In southern and eastern Arizona, well, the SPC has defined a risk of thunder today. I would say that chance here in Phoenix and the south central deserts is extremely low, but not zero. I guess there could be an isolated storm, a brief low-topped bit of convection, but for the most part, the chance of storms will be confined to the higher terrain of eastern and southeast Arizona. Precipitation outlook valid through next Saturday morning. Rain amounts in Phoenix. Hey, these numbers come up a little bit. Now between about 1/10 and 1/4 of an inch. And we could see as much as 2 inches of rain potentially along the southern border of our state, with the mountains of east, central, and southeast Arizona maybe seeing as much as 1/2, maybe even 3/4 of an inch. Of course, your amount will vary whenever we show you this graphic. Any thunderstorm can obviously produce more than what's shown here. This represents an average of what you'll see. So to break down this weather pattern in more detail, what the heck's going on? Let's try to figure it all out. What does the future hold? Here we go. Take a look at the models. The GFS, this is the 12Z run, valid at 5 o'clock this afternoon. The upper look at 500 millibars, about 18,000 feet off the ground. There's that aforementioned upper low across Manitoba. And that's going to be the focal point for some showers and storms over the central and northern plains states today. High pressure sits off the Pacific Northwest coast, and we are broadly under the influence of that ridge, although this little trough that's passing over the northern tier states has knocked down our ridge a bit. The heights have come down slightly, so what it means down at the surface for the rest of the day today, some clouds around at times, but we'll still call it mostly sunny to partly cloudy. High temperatures 107 to 111. The humidity levels are up a bit, so it does feel sticky out there, but most of that moisture should at least mix out through the afternoon. Now, despite the fact that we have the increased humidity, storm chances are still low, and the reason is because we have drier air in the mid and upper levels, which sort of puts a cap on the atmosphere, unless we had some sort of obvious trigger mechanism, some sort of upper level disturbance, a trough, a cold front, something like that would help to initiate lifting. We don't have that. We just have the daytime heating process. And unfortunately, dry air is kind of a killer in the monsoon. So there could be some brief low-topped convection, I suppose, over the southern deserts, but that would be so isolated, it's just not worth putting in a forecast. Slightly better chances of storms exist over the rim country and across southeast Arizona, but even at that, rain chances are pretty low there. So we're not going to really concern ourselves with that. For tonight, mostly clear, overnight lows generally in the 80s, low 90s though in the urban core. Tomorrow, it's really about the same story. Mostly sunny, isolated afternoon and evening showers and storms over the higher terrain, a stray storm in the lower deserts, just not worth putting into the forecast. As we go into the week ahead, high pressure sits to the north and west of us, and it's going to begin to get closer once again. Temperatures should warm up a couple of degrees on Monday and Tuesday, with highs each day around 108 to 113. Now, we will see some widely scattered afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms over the higher terrain of eastern Arizona, and they will drift toward the lower deserts, so we cannot rule out a storm in the valley either Monday or Tuesday, so we've put a 10% chance of rain into the forecast each of those days. But again, the chances, that's about it. I mean, the key words here is going to be isolated. We don't anticipate any really widespread storm activity unless, of course, some sort of disturbance or wave comes in here that we don't anticipate right now. But the forecast turns a bit more interesting the further we go. Here's Wednesday, and the ridge is weakening a bit now in response to another trough that's developing well off the Pacific Northwest coast. By Thursday, that system is setting up to the northeast of us, that ridge, so the flow aloft is out of the southeast, so better chances of showers and storms would come in. And I'd say we have to bump up the chance of rain a little bit here. Now, I'm kind of hesitant to do that given how dry this monsoon season has been, and given that the models have presented us with so much fool's gold so far this season, because the GFS, synoptically speaking, this looks like a pretty good setup, a pretty traditional monsoon flow with scattered afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms. But right now, we're going to keep the rain chances about 20% here. And temperatures are going to come down, though. That's the good news. Now, it's not like it's going to be magically so cool out there, but hey, after highs of 116 and 118 earlier this week, being around 105 to 108 won't feel so bad on Thursday. We might even subtract a couple more degrees by the time we get to Friday. Friday is probably the most interesting day. The ridge is sitting to the north and east of us. The flow aloft is out of the southeast. We got a trough that's off the Pacific Northwest coast, and with slightly cooler air aloft and better dynamics in place, I think, and somewhat deeper moisture. If we're going to see showers and storms in the lower deserts, Thursday or perhaps Friday are really the best days for that. And again, I know we've been saying that before. We've said that before. This is a model discussion. I don't know what's going to happen on Friday. You don't know. Your weather app doesn't know. Nobody knows. But, you know, based on what we see in front of us, not only from the GFS, but from our other ensembles and our global deterministic models, it sure looks like at least a decent chance we could see some storms, especially over the higher terrain of central and eastern Arizona, but at least widely scattered storms will be possible here in the lower deserts. We'll have a better idea on this as we get closer. Hopefully this doesn't just disappear, as it so often does, the closer we get to the event. And again, temperatures will be down a bit. Here's a week from today. This is Saturday, the 16th of August. And unfortunately, there's a big trough over the northeast Pacific. And that trough is going to nudge our ridge further to the east and turn the flow aloft out of the south and west again. And so drier air will move into the region. Now, the good news is that temperatures will be down a little bit further with the presence of the ridge being nudged away from us. So afternoon highs could be close to average, maybe around 101 to 105. And with the slightly longer nights we have here as we get to mid and late August, well, low temperatures would become a bit more tolerable as well, maybe getting into the 70s in the cooler spots with low 80s in the urban core. Now, the drier air may not last very long because the GFS kind of scoots that trough out of here pretty quickly and starts to rebuild, ridging in from the east by Sunday the 17th, and certainly by Monday the 18th. The ridge is now setting back up over the southwest and the flow turning back out of the south and east. Our trough that we've been talking about, well, that's moving up into Alberta and Saskatchewan, so we're not going to worry about that. And so we could see a return to at least widely scattered afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms, but, this is 10 days out, and to bank on any sort of consistent monsoon activity when we haven't had any so far this season is, well, that's doing some mental gymnastics right there. I don't think I can bank on that right now, but we can always hope, right? I mean, some of that is just, we got to have some optimism. I keep saying we're going to get a decent thunderstorm outbreak here sometime this season. It's going to happen. We just can't have another complete dud of a monsoon season, right? We just can't. Can we? All right, rainfall for Phoenix off the GFS Ensemble. This goes out through the 23rd of August. And again, the ensemble means about a half inch. That's what the GFS keeps saying all the time. But what I'm more interested in is the European AI Ensemble. And here you go, 51 members. Every single one of them shows at least some measurable rain during the next couple of weeks at various times. Now, the ensemble mean isn't very good, only, a little under 1/4 of an inch. But look at the control member approaching 1 inch. So this is somewhat more encouraging. Am I saying it's going to rain this upcoming week or next weekend? No, I'm not saying that. But if there was a time where we actually had something of a chance for precipitation, low though it may be, this is it. This is the best we've got so far. Sad as that is. All right, temperatures off the national blend of models. Yeah, obviously, it's still going to be hot. We're not going to be up at 117, 118, not all-time August heat, but still above average temperatures through the week ahead. And then temps do trend down by the time we get toward next weekend, with highs returning to near seasonal averages. Let's take a look at the Climate Prediction Center outlook for the 8 to 14-day period, August 16th through the 22nd. And yeah, temperatures, if this is right, pretty close to maybe a little above average, skewed slightly toward above average probability here over the state of Arizona, with below average temperatures expected just to our west. And that's obviously with the presence of troughing that would do that. Much of the nation, though, gripped in above average temperatures. Highly probable if that works out. Precipitation, kind of a mixed bag, with the northwestern portion of the state skewed toward below average precipitation, but southern Arizona above average, rest of the state near average. We'd take that if that works out. We'd like that. Hopefully that does pan out, but again, gonna have to believe it when we see it, right? That's going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video is due back here tomorrow morning, should you happen to enjoy these videos. Be sure to subscribe, like, share, click that notification bell. Leave those comments, questions, and suggestions. If you really enjoy what we do here, you want to support the channel, the best way to do that is to click that thanks icon below the video here on YouTube. Make that monetary contribution to us there, or via PayPal. groffshow@gmail.com is that PayPal address. It's groffshow@gmail.com for PayPal. Or our Venmo, which is also linked up in the description. The executive producer of the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion is my OAO, the sweetest of all time, the Asian sensation and proprietor of sweetchildaz.com.org, and the Facebook page of the same name, Sweet Child Arizona. Talking about my Michelle. Check her out, blogs, videos, everything Michelle related, likely Adriana related. It's all linked up in the description, as is our streaming station. Yes, you can listen to music, courtesy of us. We do so much music. I mean, it's a ton of music, a lot of fun to listen to. It's called KMGX, and I highly encourage you to listen to that. Again, linked up down in the description. And check out Dan, the Courtroom Files YouTube channel, The Courtroom Files, or courtroomfiles.com. And you know what? He's got tons of content. And sometimes he lets down his hair. He does have a little bit more than I do, albeit just a little bit. Lets down that hair and does something other than just court stuff too. He's got game night tonight over there. He's going to play some video games. Rock that out. So if you want to see Dan playing some video games, I don't know what he's playing tonight. Maybe the Lego Star Wars game. I don't know what he's playing. Whatever it is, I highly encourage you to check that out. Go check it out over there on the Courtroom Files YouTube channel. I'd play games on this channel, but does anyone want to? I don't know if anyone wants to see me play games. Maybe, we'll be like one of those channels that plays games and talks about other stuff while the game footage is running. Maybe we'll do that. So you don't have to look at these depressing graphics. Maybe I'll play, I don't know, League of Legends or Hearthstone or Last Epoch, or we'll play something while we talk about. That way it could just be distracted from what's been not great news so far this summer. All right. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. All of your continued support. It's amazing, and it's so greatly appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys be safe, stay cool, stay hydrated out there, and have yourselves a beautiful rest of your Saturday.